This woman here, as you can read, it says shortest first date ever. So she went on a first date with a guy and it ended abruptly. Within 2 minutes of them meeting each other, the guy said, "I'm not feeling it," and called it off. So she made this video and posted it online, trying to get sympathy, and boy, is that exactly what she got. This guy here, I mean, it's very viral. This alone has 5 million views, and it's not even the original clip. I think the original was on TikTok. But this guy says, the dude must have had ice in his veins. I would not, or I'm sorry, I would have finished the date unless she did something ridiculous. So we have some moral grandstanding right away, and there's a lot of it going on. It's not a commitment to marriage to eat with someone. So I'll go ahead, play this for you so you can understand what we're talking about.
I put makeup on just for this date, so it better go well. And I'm not posting this, probably, if it doesn't. It did not go well. Truthfully, it lasted less than 2 minutes. I walked up, he gave me a hug and said, "Are you hungry? Let's go inside." We went inside. He said, "Actually, can you step outside for a minute?" I stepped back outside, and he said, "I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm just not feeling it." So I walked to my car, came back home. Dating when you're fat sucks. I put makeup on just for this date.
Now, look, if you're here to hear me woe and indulge in her woe is me mindset, you're in the wrong place, because there's not going to be any of that here, all right? First off, of course, woman, dating when you're fat sucks. Shocker, most people aren't going to be attracted to fat people. Now, there are a lot of fat people in America, okay? And it's best that you guys get together. So, first off, we don't know shit about this guy. Like, I don't know if the guy's fat. I don't know if he's skinny. I don't know if he's in shape, whatever. There's two sides to every story, so we got to keep that in mind. But, you know, when someone hears this happened, the first thing they're going to suggest or ask themselves, catfish, huh? You catfished him, didn't you? But this does not seem to be the case in this situation. Her pictures on the dating app, full body pictures. So this guy was pretty aware of how she looked, her weight. And so this brings up a couple of things. First off, what they were going to do was eat. It was dinner date. Sounded like a dinner date, maybe lunch, whatever, but they were still eating. And these types of dates are a pretty big commitment. So this is why I often say, and I practice what I preach, I don't take women out to eat on first dates. I don't see the point in it. It's a very big investment. And if things aren't going great, I want to be able to get up and leave. Now, the thing is, in this situation, if the date may have been something with less commitment, like a drink, or I don't know, ice cream, I'm sure she would have loved that. This guy might have actually stuck it out and saw to the end of this date. But because he quickly realized, fuck, I'm going to have to be with this woman this entire time while we eat. I'm probably going to have to be with her for about 35 to 40 minutes. She's going to expect me to pay for her food. We're going to have a conversation, whatever. I don't want to invest anything into this woman because I have zero interest in her. Now, personally for me, completely acceptable behavior on his part. I have no problem with it. I really don't. There are a ton of people in the comments that do, however, and this guy including. What did he say? I would have finished the date unless she did something ridiculous. It's not a commitment to marriage to eat with someone. So yeah, how about we just don't go out to eat on first dates then, and we can avoid this whole thing, you know? So like what I was saying, you know, if it was just a date to get something to drink, he might have been like, all right, well, I really only am going to have to stick around for 15 minutes. It's just a quick drink. All right, I'll see it to the end. But because this date was such a big commitment up front, he probably was like, no, not doing it. I'm out of here. And there was a comment, and it said, and I kind of agree with him actually. He said, even though he knew how much she weighed, He knew her appearance up front. This guy suggested that once he hugged her, that was it. And, I actually understand that, because once you actually wrap your arms around the person and you get a real good feel of the circumference or, the girth here, I think that's a great point. I think he probably was just at that point, no thanks. I've felt my subject and I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and bow out. Now let's switch this. Let's say that this was a guy making this video. Let's say this was a guy complaining about how a woman he went out to date with pretty much immediately said, I don't want to do this. No thanks. There would be a massively different reaction from everybody. They would all be pointing the blame on the guy. Well, bro, you need to get in shape. Of course, you're overweight. You need to get out there. You need to improve yourself. Why do you think a woman would want to date you? You're overweight, blah, blah, blah. And they would all be right, by the way. So, but because it's flipped, but because everybody infantilizes modern women, they can't tell them the truth. There's a lot of body positivity believers commenting on this garbage. But again, when it comes to body positivity, really it's only about people, so long as these people agree with you ideologically, and they also are a woman typically. But I always find it hilarious how worked up people get when women get rejected or they get told the truth. Look, lady, you're overweight, and the guy wasn't into it. He saw the pictures, yeah, but when he actually met you, it was just too much. It was too much. He didn't want to invest anything. That's really what this comes down to. He didn't want to invest time or money into this woman because he was not into her. And he there's people saying, oh, how do you know you're not into her? You didn't even get to know her. You didn't even hear her talk about subjects or talk about herself or show you her personality. You don't even know her. Look, save it. He took one look at her, and that was it. And this is how men are. We're very visual. If we don't find you visually attractive, we don't care about anything else. We don't care about your career, your personality, how funny you are, your charm. We don't care about any of that unless we find you physically attractive, and this guy did not. And that's it. And I don't see any problem with this. And I just want to hammer home on my point I made earlier, and it's that if this was a lower commitment date, maybe he would have saw it through and he could have saved this woman's feelings. But no, that is not what happened, and this is why we have a clip like this. Which, of course, all this was her, woe is me, feel bad for me, yes, I'm overweight, but man, I shouldn't be experiencing this because of my weight. Right? That's all this is. And yes, dating when you're fat does suck. Certainly. For both men and women. But let me ask you this. Which one do you think it sucks for more? Now, I'm not trying to make this a competition, but it just came to my mind. Of course, it's worse for men. And, she got rejected. But again, if this was the other way around, people would be, and rightfully so, people would be pointing at the guy. Yeah, man, I don't know why you thought you would be able to get a woman looking like that. You're overweight. Blah, blah, blah. And a lot of that would be coming from men, right? Definitely, as it should. I think there would be some women out there saying like, oh, I feel bad for the guy, but they don't really give a shit about the guy. Again, it's just online moral grandstanding. But what is always very interesting to me is how you get men. Men are very, very gynocentric. And men actually, they infantilize these women greatly. And it's just funny how so many guys are fawning and simping over this woman, feeling bad for her. But yeah, if it were a dude, they would be saying, go to the gym, get fit. You're a loser. Why do you think a woman would be interested in you? But when it comes to women, it's just they can't let it go. Look, guys, these are modern women. These are women who want equality so badly. and yet you still continue to treat them this way and feel bad for them. I don't get it. This guy says not feeling what? He didn't even sit down and attempt to get to know her beyond whatever text, phone conversations they may or may not have had. I know it doesn't take the sting away, but she dodged a bullet. Did she, huh? Kind of sounds like he's the one who dodged something. Yeah, you can still have a nice evening with someone, even if you're not interested in a second date. See, why do you think this woman is owed this man's time? She's not owed anything just because she showed up with makeup on. This man doesn't owe her shit. This is the fucking problem so many people have. So many men, definitely, and women, of course. Everybody is so gynocentric. No, nobody owes this obese woman anything, especially not another meal. Why? Why does this guy have to stick around and invest his time and resources in this woman? Guarantee she's the same woman who thinks every man should pay for her first date, should pay for her on the first date. Super disrespectful and makes all men look bad. Boy, I wonder how badly I must be making all men look then. If you invite a woman out, you buy her the meal, you tell her you had a nice time unless she did something crazy. Assuming he knew about the weight prior, he definitely should have at least had dinner. That was not gentlemanly. I feel bad for her. He could have told her all this after. Just use proper etiquette, have a quick meal, be polite and kind. After doing that, what he said is actually fine, but doing it up front is just rude. So after he invests his time and probably his money, then he can go ahead and reject her. Do you see what they're really saying here? Men aren't allowed to just reject women. They have to let her down nicely. People are rubbish. She's gorgeous. Why is the first reaction to post this on the internet, though? I don't get it. There we go. Blow it off, dear. He is not worthy of your time. Kind of sounds like she's not worthy of his time, actually. This beta male demonstrated zero class and failed as a gentleman. You keep your standards high, God bless. So now you start to understand what it really means when people talk about real men. Do you see what I'm saying? This beta male. Oh, so this guy's a beta now. Kind of sounds like it might be the opposite, actually. If we're going to talk about these type of terms, kind of sounds like he might be a bit of an alpha male. Kind of sounds like a beta male would probably be ecstatic to be on the date with her. And if he did feel this way about her, he wouldn't dare tell her. Kind of sounds like all these men in here might be the betas. That is horrid. I paid for dates even if we did not click or the girl lied about how she looked / weighed. And this woman here, you're a good guy. You're a real man. God, it never fails. That's because you're a cuck. Robert Novak, what does he say? Why? Women would eviscerate him if the roles were reversed and he was the one who lied and posted about it on the internet. How pathetic. Now we're talking. Cool, you reward people for lying and deceiving you. So hope is not completely lost. But, guys, it's just, I find it hilarious how we have to treat these women this way. We can't have standards. We can't reject women unless we pay for their food. And then we can reject them. And this guy actually is a beta male. He's not a good guy. And, people are so easily emotionally hijacked. It takes one overweight woman who put a bow in her hair and some makeup on to make everybody just start feeling so bad for her when she gets rejected. And the thing is, all of these people think that they're being good people, they're being kind, they're giving her this encouragement that is going to ultimately benefit her. But actually, it's the hard truths that make people look at themselves and want to change. And, there's a lot of these people hyping her up, saying this guy is actually a piece of shit. When he was upfront, he was direct. He didn't waste anybody's time. He has standards for himself. He wasn't feeling a connection. He didn't want to invest his time and resources into this woman, and that's A-okay. And, especially with these modern women, they all want to be treated equal. Feminism is here. It's just treat women equal. Don't treat women equal. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. I treat these modern women exactly the way they claim to want to be treated. They claim that they want to be treated. So I just treat them this way. Lady, you're overweight. He wasn't interested in you. He owes you nothing. He owes you nothing just because you put makeup on, you put a bow in your hair, put on, a necklace, a dress. He owes you nothing. So if I could give this woman some advice, just go ahead and hit the gym and stop trying to get everybody to feel sorry for you. But that's really all I have to say about this. To me, it's just laughable. It's very laughable how no wonder they're so delusional. Nobody wants to tell them the truth. They all feel very bad for them. It's funny. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. So if you made it this far, I'd appreciate a like and a subscription, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.